are now plugged into Hooked on Sonics with Bruce and Tone Capone.
And we're live.
What's up, everybody? That was quite festive there. I am this is wow. Screwed that all up.
You want me to
Hey,
stop it?
yeah.
No, let's do it. Let's
Oh, fuck it. All right.
fuck it. We'll
Well,
do it live.
Lucky we'll do it live. Hey, this is Hooked on Sonics. I am one of your two hosts, Bruce, and as always, everyone's brother from another mother, the Tone Capone. And this week, brought to us by our previous guest from a couple weeks ago, Mark the Animal Mendoza. We are going to be reviewing Montrose's self-titled debut from 1973. And Tony has a big review for you as he was at the entire festival that was, uh, I call it Rock on the Range, but it is Sonic Temple. So he's going to be talking all about that. So lots to get into. So let's get right into it. Tone, how are you, my friend?
I am beaten, battered, broken. I am sore as all get out, dude. I am not even kidding. 4-day festival is not for the weak. I
Are you
recorded
retiring
for now.
till
For
next year?
now. So if you take a look back here on the wall, back there by the guitar, that's actually my get up. I wear usually a hat and a something to cover my neck underneath it. And it came in handy for the first 3 days. The fourth day, the sun was blaring, caught some nice burn on the arms. Kate got lit up. She got lit up.
Mm-hmm.
But she's holding her own. We're keeping her aloed up, and all you can do, man.
That's right. So I guess let's just get right into it. The Let's just start on the first day, which was Thursday. How was traffic? How was it well organized? What were you running into?
So this year on day one, it was no problem getting down in.
Hmm.
We pulled into the lot probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock,
Hmm.
and gates opened to the lobby, what they call the lobby area. And it's really just the open area
Hmm.
where the stages are and everything. You couldn't go into Temple, though. You couldn't go into the stadium. Everywhere beside the stadium, all the rest of the stages that were outside the stadium, you had access to. You had access to the merch booths. There was a huge merch booth just for Sonic Temple stuff alone. And there was a merch booth outside on the way walking in, and the Sonic Temple merch booths would carry the Sonic Temple merch, which there was tons of it. And then you had some of the headliners had their stuff at those booths as well. And then when you walked in towards Temple, there was, I think, on the left-hand side, what they called the artist merch booth. And all the rest of the artists had merch in that area. The only artist that I didn't find anything from, and there could have been other artists that didn't have
Hmm.
merch there by chance. I didn't see any Carcass merch, but it was weird because when I did on the day that I did get to see Carcass, they didn't even have a backdrop,
Okay.
which was weird. Like every band had something going on in the background, whether it was a backdrop or video imagery or something
Hmm.
to that degree. But other than that, plain and simple, that's how the merch was divided out.
Hmm.
If you ask me what I spent on merch, um, we'll say it might have been close to a house payment. So, but keep in mind, I bought like 4 shirts for myself, 3 shirts for my wife. I bought 2 shirts for uh one for my daughter, one for my niece,
Hmm.
one for my grandson, and then I bought one for Kate's best friend Lori, who showed up on the fourth day, but I'll get to that.
Yeah.
As far as bands I saw on the first day, um, Police Presence wasn't really that big of a deal. They weren't really, they had the the machines, but I don't think they were really looking for anything other than weapons,
Yeah.
you know.
And usually the first days on these big festival things like this, usually not a huge turnout. Some of the lower tier bands typically there.
No, not
No?
with Sonic Temple.
Okay.
Not with Sonic Temple. So let me go ahead and get into day one and who I saw just within that day.
Hmm.
Um, and keep in mind, these weren't the only bands playing. We had 5 stages.
Okay.
Last year, there was only 4. Last year, I saw about 32 bands that I recall, if I remember that number correctly. This year, I saw somewhere between 39 and 40. And in most of the bands I saw, a good portion of the bands I saw were on the new stage, the altar stage, which is a bit of a smaller stage,
Hmm.
and then uh, some over on the cathedral stage, which is the second biggest stage besides Temple. I didn't spend a lot of time in Temple this year, but I'll get to that. Day one saw Suffocation, Napalm Death. First time seeing Suffocation, first time seeing, or second time seeing Napalm Death. Saw Rise Against, Breaking Benjamin, Carnifex. First time seeing them, was very excited to see them. I may have seen them back in the day, but I don't recall. I'm almost positive I did, but I can't nail it. Fozzy, saw Fozzy. That was an interesting set.
Yeah, tell me about Fozzy.
So they came out, and I think they did a cover of Crazy Train in their set at some point. Um, Jericho looks like he's having a blast with this, man. He
Hmm.
had fun. The crowd was pretty into him. You could tell there were actual Fozzy fans there. I've got plenty of pictures out on my Facebook. I'm going to get them over to the Hooked on Sonic stuff this week as the week rolls. Because I've still got stuff to get done. Got to get the TikToks loaded, the final TikToks loaded and stuff too. So, but yeah, Fozzy put on a pretty good set. I am not a fan of Fozzy, but I'll give credit where credit's due. The band was tight. They put together a good set, and everybody seemed to be pretty much into it. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Um, so as we move, you know, into the day, the headliner at Temple is always the big one, right?
Hmm.
So it was My Chemical Romance that night. But saw Fozzy, saw Flyleaf with Lacey Sturm, who I believe is the original singer. They did all their hits. They brought out the singer from Breaking Benjamin uh, to do a song with Lacey, and then Breaking Benjamin also did a song with Lacey during their set, which was really cool to see. We saw a couple incidents like that this weekend, but I wasn't there to witness all of those incidents per se
Hmm.
because of the different bands and stages that I was going around to. Food prices were ridiculous. We're talking slice of pizza easily $22. We're talking we're talking a 20-ounce beer, a pounder or something like that. Um, $20, 20.50.
Dude.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that when you think about that can of beer, if I went to Kroger and purchased that can of beer, it's 2 to 2.50, maybe $3 max.
Hmm.
These guys make more than what, 500% profit on that? That's killer, dude. That's it it really kind of dampens the feel, you know.
Well,
If beers
sure.
were say $10,
Still not great, but
still not great, but the economy's bad.
hmm
People are fucking broke, man. But I think we got out of there pretty much scathed, you know, after purchases and merch and all that stuff for a little under a band. A little under a band. And that, but you got to keep in mind, Kate and I were also dieting. We were taking it very easy on the eating that day. We maybe ate
hmm
once a day, and even then, you're not eating a whole big ass meal
right. Right.
because a big ass meal like a rib plat, like a half. like a half rack rib platter they had there
Mhm.
available was $30 or $35. That's a rack of ribs, dude. I can buy a rack of ribs for 10, $15.
Right.
I can smoke and do them up easy.
Right.
Okay. But it was, the pricing and stuff was bad. Shirt prices were what I expected, somewhere between 40 and $50. Hoodies and shit ran up into about $100 and stuff like that. Stuck around for a bit of My Chemical Romance,
What you
and
think?
dude, if you're into them, they're
They're a
your
good
thing.
band.
If you're into them, they're your thing, dude.
Hmm.
And they really know how to throw on a show. If I had to guess, they were the ones of the headliners that really packed the stadium this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Even Tool wasn't that as packed as My Chemical Romance, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Okay. Inside the stadium.
Right.
So we'd come home, rest up. Obviously, first day I went kind of hard because I would also see let me give you that rundown of all those bands again in day one. I saw uh, Suffocation, great set. Napalm Death, wonderful set. Rise Against, not my thing, but cool. But you got to remember, I was with other people that wanted to see these other bands as well, and other things weren't going on that I didn't want to see, so I went ahead and rolled with them. Carnifex, great set. Fozzy, cool set. Flyleaf, what you'd expect from them, cool set. Dying Fetus, I'm going to say this now. I want to make this very clear. Forget the name. I understand the name is repulsive. It's gross. It's very, but you got to understand these guys were young when they did that. They even said this in an interview. They wanted to create the most offensive, repulsive thing they could come up with in a name for a death metal band, and they did that. Okay, they did. They did it. They did what they accomplished to
Hmm.
do. Okay,
Hmm.
they're not going to change the name because that's how they gave their that guy that name's their success. I will tell you this. I heard about this band from Devin Swank from Sanguisugabog. I only got to lightly check them out by ear.
Hmm.
Then I went and caught them at Sonic Temple. They are hands down, of all the bands that I saw this weekend, the ones that surprised me the most.
Okay.
They blew my doors off. I came home and downloaded the new single that I heard and the new album. And I was just pumping that thing today, and I was just sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, this is one of the most incredible death metal style albums I've heard in a while." And I really, really dig these dudes. High praise goes to three big bands I saw that day: Carnifex, Suffocation, Dying Fetus. Those are my three big ones for that day. Day two, we wake up, go right back at it again. This is Friday because that was
Hmm.
Thursday. So day two, we got to see Flaw, Hinder, Dope, Static X, Daltrey, Buck Cherry, Shinedown, Everclear, and Sublime.
Okay. So
All in one,
all your 90s favorites,
all,
early 2000s.
yeah, 90s, early 2000s stuff.
Hmm.
Great sets of the day. I don't care for Hinder, but I really don't like the new singer. After listening to some of the video footage, he doesn't sound anything close to the original singer, in my personal opinion.
Hmm.
And he's good, but he's not the voice that I'm used to hearing singing Lips of an Angel or whatever that
Right,
is.
right.
Um, Flaw was good. They put on a great set. Dope always puts on a great set. Static X put on a great set, and it was actually the final set they're doing of 2026. They just canceled the rest of any shows. Uh,
Any idea why?
Illness.
Huh.
They're citing illness, but there's a bunch of rumor stuff going online about some film coming out regarding Static. Wayne Static from who had passed away from Static X. So I don't
Okay.
know what the deal is with that. I don't know what the validity of any of that is, but I'm just
Hmm.
putting it out there for you. And it's all in talk chat and Facebook and crap like that and whatnot.
Yeah.
Buck Cherry went in and caught part of their set. I got to admit, I get why people dig them. They're a good rock and roll band. They had a good time, and that was pretty good. Daltrey was, I I like Daltrey. My wife likes Daltrey. Our good buddy Stevie Fly from On the
Hmm.
Fly podcast likes Daltrey. He put on a great set. However, he didn't play a lot of stuff I was super familiar with. He did bring Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm out to do Journey's Someday Love Will Find
Yeah,
You.
yeah.
So they did that. It was cool, but once again, it's not my main forte of music, but I do dig Daltrey. I just like really dig those first couple albums a lot. Shinedown, they put on a good show. Not my favorite, not my thing. Everclear put on a good show. Not my favorite, not my thing, but they did put on a good show. Sublime, however, was from my brother Dylan that passed away. We were supposed to go see the Nomads had a pact to go see Sublime when they'd come around with Jacob Noel's son, or Bradley Noel's son, Jacob. And Dylan not being there, and then remembering the Nomads and
Hmm.
it falling apart was a bit of a bummer. But it was a great show. One thing I do want to say is there were a lot of blow up phalluses in the crowds.
Yeah, I
It was
heard about that.
super annoying. I I get that people think it's cute, it's funny, but I'm trying to snap a picture of the band and I can't even get a picture of the drummer because there's a huge phallus just floating through the crowd.
See, us commoners call them cocks, but
I
phallus
just I'm trying to be appropriate. I don't want to get us any warnings or strikes.
will be fine.
So anyways, it was
Yeah.
ridiculous, dude. If you'll see them, I'll post them. We'll get them on the Hooked on Sonics page. It's
I don't want a
Jesus,
bunch
man.
of cocks on our page.
It's not good, dude. It was like I get you think it's cute and funny, but it throughout the whole festival, dude. Like Jacob Noel grabbed one of these huge blow up things and was curling it. There's video of him out there working out with it, and then he threw it back out in the crowd. And every artist said something about it that had seen him. Like, what is your guys' fascination with this? Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I agree. Thank you. So, not cool with the phalluses for festivals. You do what you want. It's one thing to, you crowd surfers are cool and stuff. We'll get to that. Oh, speaking of which, best sets of the day. Static X, Dope, and I would give it up to Sublime. Those were my favorite of the day. Static X Pit. Let me get into that.
Oh yeah, let's talk about some pit shit.
If you are over 225 pounds, I would like to make this very clear. Be considerate of who you're about to lay yourself across being a bigger person. My question is, I saw some dude that was probably about my size, and I'm at 300 right now. I would never entertain the idea of crowd surfing, even if I was 350. Maybe my 15-year-old mentality might do that, but I'm not interested in it. I've done
Our
it
age would
once.
break a hip.
Oh yeah. So I had this guy well into the 250s, 300s come across us, and my arm gave out. There was nothing I could do. He fell on my face. I lowered him down, like, get the fuck down, dude. Like, I'm not a weak man per se, but I am 50 years old. And son, the only question I want to ask is, who the hell lifted you up in the first place?
Dude.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I
Yes.
like I'm a big guy. I can speak on behalf of being a bigger person. I would not do this. Even if I
No.
was 20 and 300 pounds, dude, it's like I don't know who I would look at and go, hey man, put me up. And people would go, oh wow, he's pretty big. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, this
Like
would work out great.
this has all the hopes and dreams and aspirations of a burnt marshmallow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not
Like
good.
come on. So needless to say, Static X Pit, a little bit aggravating Um, at the end, when there was some of the larger variety of folks
Mhm.
trying to crowd surf.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing, crowd surfers out there, I want to tell each and every one of you, cross your legs. It's easier to move you through the crowd if you are shaped like a pencil and not a paperweight. Jesus.
You know, these kids, they need to learn proper pit etiquette. It is completely lost. I saw some video
I saw
of
some
the
good pit etiquette though, dude, but I've seen some horrible pit etiquette.
dude, there is some tomfoolery horse shit. You know, they're reenacting some Braveheart shit like, okay, you start on this side, you
That's a
start.
wall of death. I can
That's
respect the wall of death.
stupid.
I can respect a wall of death. I've been in a wall of death for lamb of
Fuck a
God.
wall of death. That's stupid.
You've never bravehearted it?
No.
Be a man. Be a man. You got to do it once. I'm going to drag
Uh,
you to a show and we're going to do it once.
promise I won't. All
I will
right,
admit
so
there
that
was
was
one of the cool things that happened. And I don't know, did I talk about Carcass yet? Let me see here real quick. No, because I think Carcass was later. So I'll tell you more. I'll tell you more. So I ran into a bunch of my friends. I ran into just about everybody I wanted to run into. I ran into Gina and Adam of Bloodstone, locally here, good friends of mine. Love to see them every time I go. They were on their way out of the stadium to go see Devil Driver. I was on my way into the stadium to sit my ass down for the rest of the fourth day.
mhm.
Ran into my little sister, Melissa. I call her Melissa Dawn. She's known as Dahlia Dawn. She came in from New York for Sonic Temple, like she's always there for Sonic Temple. Got to see her. Got to see my nieces, Jessica and Haley and April. They actually hooked me up while we were there because I was in need. Leave it at that. And they were very good crowd people. It was good seeing them. Um, ran into It was someone else I ran into. Oh, Jenny Henson.
Okay.
You remember Jenny from high school?
I do not.
Really?
Jenny Henson? Not a
Jenny
clue.
Henson. Okay, so okay, we went to I believe we went to elementary school with her too. So it blows my mind you don't remember that name. But
Mhm.
anyways,
Mhm.
she knows all the same people you know on Facebook. I'm surprised you guys maybe not even friends. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, she was a big Kiss fan back in the day. I thought the one of
Okay.
the probably few people I turned on to Kiss. It was good seeing her and her husband. But yeah, ran into a bunch of people. And then, like I said, back to the point of day two, um, just not a big day for me. It wasn't a
Yeah.
big day that I was seeing a lot of bands. Day three would prove to be about the same. So pretty much took it easy and we hung out in the VIP most of the day. So that was Saturday. So Saturday, thunderstorms would kick off in the morning and they shut down the temple. Like we couldn't get in at 11. They told everybody to shelter in place in their cars. So we took off up to Mimi's and Polaris and went and had breakfast until we've heard word of being able to get back in. When we heard word that they were opening the gates up at 12, we took off right around 11 to get back. And we were able to get in at 12 for the sets. Some of the sets were pushed back a little bit, maybe cut a little bit short in order to accommodate the day.
Yeah.
But on that day, we ended up seeing, bear with me here, um, so we spent part of the day in the VIP, and then the
Hmm.
rest of the day was running around seeing the last of the bands we wanted to see. So we caught some of all that success from All That Remains from the VIP, Novelist, Bush, and towards the end of Bush, we walked out to go catch some of Bush's sets straight up, and off the back of the crowd.
Hmm.
Uh, Whole Chamber, we caught we caught Biohazard, we caught Carcass, or I caught Carcass, Marilyn Manson, and Sepultura. Sepultura was on their last run. I want to talk a little bit about this day. Um, Bush was cool. It was cool to see them. Novelist, didn't really care. All That Remains, they're good. Not my thing, but it was all right. Marilyn Manson, I'll probably pay at this point in time to go see him on his own if tickets are reasonable, because I'd like to hear more from him live that I'm familiar with. He did a lot of familiar stuff, and he's got a lot of hits. He did "Smells Like Teen Spirit," "Dope Show," um,
Smells like Teen Spirit.
or no, not Teen Spirit, "Sweet
Smells
Dreams,"
like children
Sweet Dreams,
from,
Sweet
yes.
Dreams.
Okay.
And then, I mean, he really did like a good set, and
Mm,
he sounded the best I've heard him sound live, because I've seen a lot of live footage over the years,
hmm
and he often throws fits, acts a fool. Perfect Manson set, dude. It was fan freaking tastic. My wife was head over heels over that.
hmm
So it was a good set. Manson threw down a wonderful set that day. One of the best sets that day, if not the best set that day.
hmm
Then um, Biohazard, dude, they still bring it. I've never seen them before, but their crowd was lit. They put on a heck of a show. I got to give credit where credit is due. And guess what they opened up with?
Mm.
Um, Urban Discipline.
There you go. That's
Dude,
your jam.
it was so good, dude. But that was a good set. Not my favorite set. Not my favorite set. Carcass, phenomenal set. I would run into my kid from the grocery store, who always asking about my metal shirts. We talk about metal bands and shit all the time. We're turning each other on to stuff. I would see him in the pit, and there was a circle pit going on, but in the middle of the pit there was guys just standing there kind of rocking out, and just, eventually they would form a circle within the circle, and they
hmm
were all facing inward, like this is their heads, and they were all
hmm
facing inward, and they were just bouncing to the music in a circle. So I ran in, and got to be part of the circle, and we hung out and just rocked out with Carcass. Me and him did for the rest of the day, or for that rest of that set, and it was a wonderful, wonderful experience to get to share with him. And then on the way out, we caught some of Sepultura set. I think the vocalist didn't sound as strong as he used to,
hmm
and if they're hanging it up, maybe that may be part of the issue. Maybe they're just done, and I can respect that. But that night, the vocalist just did not sound strong as I remember him being. Um, Best sets of the day go out to Carcass, Cold Chamber, and Manson.
Okay.
Those are the best sets of the day. Biohazard, coming off the fringe, was a damn good set too, but they weren't the best set of the day. They
Okay.
were fun, don't get me wrong.
hmm
And then we move into the final day. This was a big day for all of us. This was probably the biggest day, and the final day. We would see sets from Castle Rat, POD,
hmm
In Flames, Suicidal Tendencies, Black Label Society, Public Enemy, Windrose, Amon Amarth, Megadeth, and Tool in one day.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool,
See,
dude.
I would actually pay to see a lot of that.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I could take it or leave it.
So Castle Rat, I was supposed to see last year. I've told you that's one of the big reasons why I wanted to go to Sonic
Yep.
Temple this year.
Yep.
Out of all sets, all 4 days, they're among one of the best sets.
Okay.
Um, Suicidal Tendencies always throws down. POD had a good set. I dug them.
hmm
Not a big In Flames fan, but they were okay.
hmm
Black Label Society did a good set. Public Enemy did a pretty cool set. Finally got to hear 911 as a joke live, which was dope. It was great. Windrose, I'm not familiar with this band, wasn't familiar with this band.
hmm
They are a dwarf metal band,
Ah, shit.
and
What are we
they are
doing?
dressed as medieval dwarves, and they come out and rocked, dude. So I did dig Windrose. Amon Amarth was a big one. This was the mission for me and Dave and Pickle,
hmm
was to row or put your back into the oar for Amon Amarth, and we got the opportunity to do that. There's video of that available in several different instances. If you get the chance, go out on YouTube and look for the full set
hmm
of Amon Amarth at Sonic Temple. It does exist out there. You will see the row pit was pretty big. Lots of fun. Megadeth, watch that from inside the stadium. Um, the Dave's voice sounded weak. I'm going to be very honest about that. His voice sounded weak.
Mhm.
Playing, he got it done. Things sounded good. Um, but I think it's time. You
Mhm.
know,
Well, he agrees.
Dave's paid his dues, and you know what?
Mhm.
If he goes out like this, he's going out on a pretty good note. He still sounds, he doesn't sound horrible by any means, but you could tell his voice is weakened.
Yeah.
So no disrespect to him. I love Dave. I've always loved Megadeth more than Metallica, anyways. So
Mhm.
I'll put that on the table. Tool. Let's have a talk about that one. I am probably going to get this show canceled for what I'm about to say. And I apologize, buddy. I know we've worked a long time on this, and
That's right.
we're getting ready to start another season. I am somewhat of a Tool fan. I am not a Tool fanatic.
Okay.
I was surrounded by Tool fanatics. And let me explain to you something. I know now what it means when I go on about a band, how much I love them, how annoying it is to the people I do this to. I apologize for those that I've offended or done in this manner, but let me explain to you something. In my personal opinion, Tool is not the greatest rock band to ever exist or metal band to ever exist.
No.
Visually, they have a wonderful thing going on. You cannot see any of the members if you're back off the stage. If you're not at the front of the stage, you're not going to see all the members. They make it to where you really can't see them that well.
Okay.
And the visuals are very acid inducing per se. I told Kate 6 songs in, we got to go. I've only heard 2 songs I've only heard 2 songs I'm super familiar with, and if I keep watching these visuals, it's going to induce an acid flashback. We got to go. I've never been in that situation before.
Mm.
So we left a little bit early and didn't catch all the tool set. Comment away, comment away. Best sets of that day go out to Castle Rat and a Monomarth. Castle Rat, Suicidal Tendencies, and a Monomarth.
Mhm.
Overall, it was a wonderful experience. This was a more suited and catered Sonic Temple experience, rounded out for all of our crew that was there. Everybody got to see a bunch of bands they wanted to see and got to learn and see new bands that they're going to go home and take interest in. I saw everybody I wanted to see except Devil Driver and Necrogoblicon, but Necrogoblicon was missed because I was at the merch booth right away. Because if you do not buy merch right away at a festival, it may not be there when you go back day 2, day 3, day 4.
Right.
Get your ass in the merch lines, folks, especially for the artist gear.
Mhm.
Other than that, everything was averaged out to be what I kind of expected to be. We come in a little bit less than what we did last year, what we blew last year because we were eating a lot more food and trying to sustain ourselves last year throughout the festival. We didn't need to do that this year. We were rocking pretty well. Um, I would do VIP again. The VIP experience includes uh, cleaned restrooms, maintained restrooms that are a little nicer than the porta potties and everything that are out there in the public. At the stadium, you've got stuff in there, but I've gone into the bathroom and find toilets that are loaded with beer cans and pop bottles, and you can't comfortably do any business in that. Or the floors just soaked in urine, you know. So other than that, you have access to the VIP tent, which is an air conditioned tent. It gets packed if it gets hot. It's just basic economics there. And then you have access to a private little
Mhm.
area of shopping and foods that are not available out to the public. Nothing special in regards to the way of shopping for Sonic Temple gear or anything like that. But you had access to lobster rolls inside VIP. I don't know what's accessible in the tier up, what they call the rock royalty, but I'm not paying that much to meet the under artists and or whatever they do. I'm not interested in that. I do want to have access to somewhere where I do have access to cool off with the VIP tent,
Mhm.
and the cleaner restrooms alone are a big thing for me, being a bit of a germaphobe. But all in all, I would say the experience was a wonderful experience this year. A lot of great bands, really cool lineup and diverse lineup this year. Last year was really kind of more catered to me. This was a little more catered to my wife and some fans of, regular radio style music and stuff and whatnot. And of course, I got to see a lot of underground stuff and death metal, and you know, getting to see Castle Rat was a big bonus. But overall, the experience was fun. If you're ever in the Columbus area and you're ever considering going to Sonic Temple, I would implore anybody to do so at least once in their lives. But keep in mind, whether or not you want to do it 1 or 2 days, 3 days, or all 4 days. 4 days is rough. What has happened for us over the last couple of years is we go pretty hard the first 2 days, and then the third day would being Saturday, we kind of spend half the day in the VIP tent, catching some of the bands from Cathedral and Temple stage, and then we'll go out to the later shows that we want to catch. That way we've rested up, seen some of the shows we wanted to see straight up, and then get out of there a little bit early to be prepared for the final day,
Mhm.
which usually is a pretty big day. But because last year we would close off the show seeing Power Trip. If I had my way and we were still comfortable, everybody wasn't feeling like ready to leave, I would have stuck around and caught Death Clock set, and that's the other set I'm a little bummed out that I missed. Devil Driver,
Mm.
Death Clock, and Necrogoblicon.
Yeah.
And that would have
Um,
meant that I would have seen probably 42 to 43 bands, but I saw probably 39 to 40 bands this year. And
a lot.
with the addition of the fifth stage, I saw a
Mhm.
lot of bands over on that stage. A lot
Yeah.
of, like, when I think about the bands that were on that stage, we had Dope, Static X, Castle Rat, Carcass, Napalm Death, um, Suffocation. I mean, I saw a lot of all the bands that I saw probably at least a third of them on that stage.
Gotcha. Well, awesome. I did see I was at on Friday, I was at Used Kids Records and
Jealous. I should
yeah.
have been there.
Yeah. No, you're too busy hobnobbing in VIP.
Yeah, right.
But I did see some social media posts from Used Kids that members of Megadeth stopped in, a few other bands
Tool.
stopped. Yeah,
I think
Tool.
Adam Jones stopped in there.
Yep. So yeah, that was cool to see. Um,
I mean, dude, if you think about it, a lot of these artists that are really into music, the way that you and I are,
mhm.
they stop at the local record stores when they're in town. They find out what record stores are local, and they go in there and they start digging around. And you never know who you're going to run into, man. It makes you want to almost open a record store just to be able to see who slides in, you know?
Absolutely. So yeah, that's the breakdown of Sonic Temple 2026. So
Coming from
glad
the view of Tone Capone.
that's right. And that encompasses news and everything else because that was
A lot.
quite a bit.
My apologies, buddy, but last I checked, our good buddy Mark Mendoza from
Hmm.
Twisted Sister gave us a cool album to review, and I think I was lucky enough to even mention it to him because it really perked his ears up. And after that,
Hmm.
he kind of settled in with us, man. I was happy
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, it was great. We were all supposed to. I will mention. Last week we were supposed to have Matthias from Fire Breather on, and he was supposed to give us an album as well. Due to some scheduling issues, obviously that didn't pan out. So we'll work on. We're feverishly working behind the scenes to get that rescheduled for a later date. So, having said all that, we've got Montrose all by its lonesome. So we're gonna have plenty of time to really dig into this.
Before we get into this review, though, I do want to mention one thing.
Hmm.
Next episode, we will have
Hmm.
the panel on.
Yep,
We are discussing the top five, our favorite top five cover songs of all time.
that's right.
This is also the season finale. Bruce and I have shows to go to over the summer, and we'll have a lot to report back in the beginning episode of the new season.
Yep.
Hopefully, we have some pictures with some new people we've hung out with. And if you see us out there on the streets or out at a show, don't be afraid to stop us. Grab us up, snap a picture, tag us. If you see us walking by, grab a picture and tag us. Say, hey, seen you. We want to hear from you. Please
Yep.
remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Check us out on TikTok and all of your social media favorites, as well as all your streaming podcast services.
That's right.
All
That
right,
is
let's
right.
get into this Montrose album, dude. I'm pumped.
Yeah, let's go. So this bad boy Montrose self-titled was released October 17th of 1973. We've got Ronnie Montrose on lead guitar, Sammy Hagar on vocals, Bill Church on bass, and Denny Carmassi on the drums. This album was interestingly produced by Ted Templeton, and Don Landy was the engineer. Do you know why that's significant in this?
I do not, but this is where your music knowledge comes in a little
Mhm.
more, and your expertise comes in a little better than mine.
That is the famous duo that did all of Van Halen's albums.
Wonderful.
Yep. So this was kind of a precursor. And actually, if you read Ted Templeman's book, he was really pushing to have Sammy replace Dave way back then. Like before they even made it, he was wanting to kind of get rid of Dave. So, um,
Probably because Dave's problematic drinking and all that other good stuff.
no, he honestly loved Sammy's
Vocals
vocals
better.
better. Yep. But he kind of realized, after Dave kind of grew into being Dave, um, he realized that Dave was the right fit for that band at that time. But he still loved Sammy, and he was absolutely instrumental in getting Sammy into Van Halen
Yeah,
after Dave left.
I
So
was going to say that. So this is probably how he was able to transition and
absolutely,
whatnot.
absolutely. So let's see some of the background. I think this album peaked at number 133 on the charts. This was not like a
A big
uh
release.
no, this was not very popular when it came out. It's kind of middle of the road. And it's only kind of grown in popularity as it's aged. Um, so, you know, interesting for that. A lot of people were calling them kind of the next Led Zeppelin at that time. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
I'm not seeing that, but go ahead.
Yeah, there, we'll get into it a little bit later, but there may be a song that's like Led Zeppelin esque, but
I don't know about
esque.
that. I
I,
don't know,
I'm
dude.
listen.
No. Now, if
I'm
you
just
came to
tell.
me and said Greta Van Fleet was the next Led Zeppelin, I would say I can understand why people think so. This, on
Right,
the
right, right.
other hand, no. No.
No, I get it.
I'll tell you what got me on
I'm
this.
not saying I agree with them.
I wonder, did Sammy play on this at all?
He's not listed as guitars,
I know,
but
but
but he's
he's known as a competent guitar player.
yeah. So I'm sure he's did some sort of guitar work, but Ronnie Montrose is the guitar player.
Okay.
So um, let's get right into it. The first track on here was "Rock the Nation." Um, what do you think?
Rock the Nation. Said this was a classic rock and roll party tune. Cool breakdown on the ending, and it's a good opener,
Mm-hmm.
but I gave it a B. It did not, it didn't, it's just a good rock song, man.
Uh-huh.
I can't cite it for being bad. It's not bad. It's just a good song, and it
Mm-hmm.
was a good opener, not a
Yeah.
great opener, not something that makes you go, oh yeah, we're into this now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, cool song. I dig it. So,
Yeah. I gave it an A actually. I think it's a really solid opener. It was definitely a good choice for the first single.
mhm.
It's weird that it isn't played more on the radio. Um, now it's to me it's really catchy. Is it a timeless song like the next one, Bad Motor Scooter? No, but it's a really solid rock song. Um, so
But when you compare it to the other two singles on here, you can
mhm.
understand.
I would put Rock the Nation over Rock Candy all day
You're out of your
long.
damn mind.
You're crazy.
You're out of your damn mind.
No.
Dude, you are done. Well,
Rock
this is the last season.
Yeah, listen. Uh
You're dude that riff down, 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 down. We'll
sure.
talk about that later.
Oh,
But
we're
you're out of
going
your
to.
mind. You're
Yeah.
out of. Hey, Donnie, you're out of your
You're
element.
right. Alum element. That's right. So I gave Rock the Nation today.
Okay, I gave it a B. It's a good song,
Yeah.
not skippable by any means. Great,
No, no, no.
good way to start the album out.
Mm-hmm.
Track number 2, Bad Motor Scooter. What'd you give that?
I get obviously you got to give this an A. I've always loved this song even before I knew Sammy Hagar sang it. I don't like Sammy Hagar. I think he's got a good voice. I just don't. He doesn't move me at all.
Dude, there's some great songs he's
He
done,
does.
dude.
He's got some good songs. I'm not gonna take that away.
Heavy metal.
Eh, eh.
Get out
I
of
don't
here,
like Sammy
dude.
that much.
I Can't Drive 55.
Dude, I could go without hearing that song ever again. Don't care.
Really?
Yeah. But Bad Motor Scooter, I've actually really liked all, ever since I've heard it. The thing that always bugs me is the revving of the engine at the beginning and the end. I know it's petty, but that revving sounds so weak. And it's like, I want this to sound heavier. I want this to sound fuller. And
Beefier.
that beefier, it doesn't do that. It
I get that.
drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Like, okay,
Kind of like Judas Priest Turbo Love.
but yeah,
It's not a very strong
right,
motorcycle
right, right,
sound.
right,
You know what I mean?
right. But for me, if I hear Kickstart My Heart, the revving on Kickstart My Heart,
Of course, it's a
put
Harley,
this,
dude.
dude, but put this on fucking Bad Motor Scooter, it'd be an untouchable song. Fantastic.
It's still an
Uh,
untouchable song.
it's a great song, but that piece has always bugged me. I still give it an A though. Um, it's
I,
Go ahead.
I don't know, man. I see what you're saying, but dude, I like
It's still an A.
think about technology. Think about what the technology is in the years of those two songs you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Kickstart My Heart was done in the 80s.
Yep.
The 80s, 90s, I want to say.
89. Yep.
Maybe right around that cusp. But then you have Bad Motor Scooter in 73. We're talking
No,
quite
I
a
get
grip.
it. I
You know,
get it.
quite a grip of recording technology.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. It's just weak.
I get it. But I gave it an A plus. Classic thumping and driving, fist pumping tune. This is actually a favorite track of mine on the album.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure.
Hands down, A
Yeah.
plus. So I gave it an A plus.
Yep.
Cool.
Next up we got Space Station number 5.
I gave this one a B. Still a
Mm-hmm.
good song. Not skippable. Um, Guitars are made to sound spacey throughout, but still comes to a forward rocking tune,
Mm-hmm.
is what I have described this as.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the one thing that I can think of is why this album really kind of stands out to me. I look at the year 73.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would only be 3 years later we would see Kiss release what, two albums, Rock and Roll Over and Destroyer. You
Mm-hmm.
see a big release from Led Zeppelin. You see a big release, I think, from Aerosmith. Like 76 was a big year for music.
Mm-hmm.
These guys in 73, Ronnie Montrose was doing some really cool things with guitar and
Mm-hmm.
guitar tone, and that's why this really kind of stands out to me
Mm-hmm.
as a wonderful, wonderful album. You know what I mean? Because to me, I imagine, and I didn't live during this time, I imagine that some of the things he was doing guitar wise were, you know, groundbreaking as Eddie Van Halen moving into the scene. You know what I mean? Not to say that he was Eddie Van Halen level.
Right.
I'm no disrespect to either or. However, you have to take into consideration who was doing things with their guitar that sounded like that and creating those tones and sounds before him. You know what I mean? And if they did exist, great, but he was doing it pretty dang good. It sounded really cool.
Yeah, I to me, the guitar playing on this is really solid. I mean, you can't really take anything away from Ronnie Montrose. Is it does it sound groundbreaking as compared to some of the other stuff that was going on? No. But it's good. It's
But see, dude,
solid.
it's 73 though, man. Like
I
we
don't
wouldn't.
care. You put him
When did the first Van Halen album drop?
78.
Okay, 5 years from them.
Mhm.
76 being probably the biggest year in music in the 70s. This would be early.
Right.
And those sounds coming before Van Halen was doing his thing, Eddie was doing
Mhm.
his thing,
Mhm.
before Led Zeppelin was really dropping
What are you
what?
talking about? Led Zeppelin had already come out with their four biggest albums by this time. I
What was
think
the
Led's
76? What was the 76 album from Led Zeppelin?
probably maybe
Four. Had to have been
no
four.
four came out in like 71.
You're drunk.
That may
Give me my
be.
phone.
Give me
Give me
my
my dang
phone.
phone. I'm not doing this with you tonight, dude.
Uh,
You and I are going to have we're going to settle this right here live on the air.
uh
Ain't nobody playing with you right now. This is you have done messed up. I know, I'm pretty damn positive they had an album dropped in
ah let
76.
yeah, Led Zeppelin 4, 1971.
Presence.
Yeah.
So yeah,
See,
so 69 they had Zeppelin 1 and 2, 73, 4 was they were
71.
untitled 71. Wow, and
I
Houses of the
told you that.
Holy. Houses of the Holy would
73.
probably be the last big album that they probably did. Maybe Physical Graffiti. But I don't hear anybody talk about Presence or In Through the Outdoor Coda. All those albums before Houses of the Holy,
Mhm.
maybe some conversation pops up about physical graffiti. But so, anyways, man, all I'm saying is he was doing some pretty revolutionary shit in 73 with a guitar. I don't know how many people up to that point were doing those kind of things with a guitar, creating those kind of tones and sounds.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not taking anything away from Montrose, but to me, this Montrose sounds so much like Humble Pie and, similar bands like that. Steve Winwood and
That never
Traffic.
broke huge, you
Right.
know. Right.
And again, this didn't break huge,
Right.
so, um, but yeah, for me, Space Station number five, I gave it an A. It kind of starts off like with a Pink Floyd type of vibe. Then it really kicks into a cool riff. I've heard that same riff on a Dictator song, but I cannot, for the
Nail it
life
down.
of me, figure out which one it is.
I get that.
Um,
Or a similar riff.
yeah, this is for me also the first time on the album where they're hinting at that Led Zeppelin type vibe.
I'm not a nope. Sorry, I
Just a
can't do it.
little.
Nope.
I'm not saying look,
Not nope.
nope. If
Sorry.
you listen to it more than once, you'll see it.
Mm,
This
drugs.
this is a really well crafted song. The bass line during the breakdown in the middle really stands out to me. Um, I surprisingly I like this song. So solid A for me. Track number
Okay.
3.
Track number 4. I don't want it.
I don't want it. What do you think?
I gave this one an A, man.
Hmm.
Killer drum fills, groovy guitar riff, really kind of shows where it would take Sammy's career and into later. You know,
Hmm.
Sammy. This is a very Sammy style song, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Yep. I gave this a B. Again, I think that's kind of funny. You said this is a Sammy style song because I'm not a huge Sammy guy. These lyrics are weird. It doesn't rhyme a whole lot. Talking about making toothpicks out of logs and nothing really rhymes. It's got a really great groove to it. Has a an early Ted Nugent vibe to this song. It's a nice shuffle beat going on with the riff. Um, it's a good song. It's just not like, wow, I gotta listen to this. So,
Right.
yep.
Cool. Track number 5. Good rockin' tonight.
That's right. This is a Roy Brown cover. Roy Brown was a early blues player. A lot of different artists covered this song. Elvis Presley, Bruce Springsteen, McCartney, Joe Ely, Jerry Lee Lewis, The Doors, James Brown. So this is an absolute, um, you know, everyone loved this song back then. Um, I really dig it too. Uh, Definitely very bluesy. Um, Solid A for me. I think it's a great cover. They did a great job with it.
Good. Good rockin'. I gave it a B. So it's
Mm,
another rockin' party tune, straightforward rock and roll tune, you know.
yeah,
Um, good song, and not skippable. No skippable tracks on this album. This is a solid album, man. In my personal opinion, this is a solid album.
yeah,
We'll get, continue talking about it. Rock Candy, track number 6, man. Where you at?
yeah, yeah. Listen, this is a classic radio staple. It's a simple, catchy riff. Um, it's instantly recognizable. Um, it's really good. I gave it an A. It reminds me there is a on the Wayne's World soundtrack. Somebody covered this song. That's when I first heard it. Was that cover off that Wayne's World soundtrack? I like that. I like the song since then. It's great. It's really good. Um, but I mean, it's simple, easy rock and roll. Nothing great. Just like, man, this is real fun. It's a fun song.
You out of your mind. If
You're telling me this is like a fantastic song that just kills it?
this is one of those songs that if I hear it come on the radio, I have got to crank that son of a bitch up. I'm not kidding.
Huh.
You know what I think about when I think about this song?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the movie
Phalluses.
The Stoned Age?
It's been a long time.
So these guys looking to party with chicks, blah blah blah. Well, the hot chick in the movie like steps onto the scene or opens a door or
Hmm.
something, and that it play that doom, down, down, opens it up. And I just
Yeah.
remember being part of a great scene of a great movie, classic, you know, B-rated movie. And it's just one of my favorite things.
Hmm.
This is an A plus for me. The riff made me fall in love with this album.
Hmm.
There's a riff. This song and that riff made me seek out Montrose when I was a young man. That's why this album holds a special place in my heart. Um,
Interesting.
dude, it's the riffs are juicy, dude. So, made me fall in love with the album. Slow riff just jams as class, and to me, that riff is as classic as Walk This Way. The riff for Walk This Way. Da-na-na-na,
Yeah, I can see
it's
that.
instantly, like you said, instantly recognizable. Once you hear that riff, you already know, oh,
Hmm.
that's Rock Andy Montrose, baby.
Hmm.
So, and if there aren't much that you know from Montrose, it's going to be Rock Candy and Bad Motor Scooter off this album.
Yeah. No, you're
You know,
right.
so yeah, both A pluses for me to this day.
Hmm.
And as far as that third single being Rock the Nation, I can get why it didn't get the airplay the other two did, in
Mm.
my personal opinion. So
Mm.
what'd you get? You gave Rock Candy what, an A?
A. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Track number 7. Oh,
One
or one
thing.
thing on my mind.
That's right. This is a Stonesy type song. Good blues jam to it.
Okay. I can
If
see
you
that.
listen, yeah, if you listen to the Stones around this time, they're doing stuff really similar. Again, you listen to Humble Pie. This is right in that wheelhouse. Um, it's good. It kind of drops off for me a little bit. I gave it a B. Um, it's It's good.
Okay.
What do you think?
I actually gave this one an A.
Mm,
It's thumping, driving bass drum, just a driving bass drum throughout this thing. Pumping really cool distortion guitar. I really like the guitar on this one. Making some killer tunes for the time. Um, Kind of a mid-pace, but a feel-good jam, man. Like I
yeah.
dug it, dude. Like it felt good, you know?
No, I get it. I mean, um yeah, it's a good jam.
Okay.
Absolutely. So,
This brings us to our final track, my friend.
yeah. This one is called Make It Last. I can't wait to hear what you think about this. Go ahead.
I said this is another slow mid-pace rocker, still rocking. I For some reason the vocals on this I really liked. I thought it was a great closer to a great album, and I gave it an A.
That's great.
I gave it an A.
I said this sounds like a Billy Squire song and I hate it.
But I like Billy Squire.
Ugh. The echo on Sammy's voice doesn't fit the rest of the album. It's
I
slow
get it.
and it blew. This sucks. I do like the slide guitar in it though, but this feels so much like a throwaway song. This is an awful closer. I would have much rather closed with one thing on my mind. Um,
Now, do you think if they were swapped out, do you think it would have
no,
ranked higher? It would
no,
not have ranked
this
higher.
is this is a bad song.
You're out of your damn mind.
This is a bad song.
You're a bad friend
No.
and
Uh,
a bad reviewer.
no, I'll give it a C. Just and the
Ooh.
only thing I'm giving it a C for is because that slide guitar. Other than that, this is a shit song. Awful.
There's your hot take, folks.
Put that on TikTok. Make it last sucks.
Okay.
Yeah,
So once again want to thank Mark Mendoza of Twisted Sister
absolutely.
for hooking us up with reviewing this album for you folks. Um it means a lot when you get to speak to someone you've looked up to since you were a kid, and they're
Hmm.
sharing what they love about music, and you find out that you have some of the same interest.
Yeah.
And it was very cool how that whole thing panned out. And if you get a chance, please go back and watch that interview. It was one of the funnest, most entertaining interviews we've ever done. And I thoroughly, thoroughly love all of our interviews. But that interview was a fun, fun
Oh, it
interview.
was a blast. He
He
was
was a
great.
riot, dude. He was a good, wonderful guest. Not that we have bad guests at all, but he was a wonderful guest and a very wonderful conversation. Wonderful, wonderful conversation. So thanks
Mhm.
again, Mark, for this wonderful album. But here comes your review.
Yeah.
Bruce, we giving it.
Look, is it a good rock album? Yeah. Do I give would I listen to any more Montrose? No. This did not swing me to be like I had this epiphany, this Montrose Sammy Hagar epiphany. It's good. Um, I'm never gonna listen to this again. If I hear Bad Motor Scooter, I'll listen to that again, but I don't need the rest of it. Um, all in all, let's talk about the album cover real quick while I'm thinking about it. It's just the guys on kind of like shirtless
I don't
and
recall seeing it right away, but I thought it was a colorful album cover with somebody on the front.
yeah, out all the guys on the front. Hold on. Oh no, they do have nope, they're shirtless. Yeah, I'm good. Um,
That was probably the thing for the time, dude.
I guess.
I
Eh,
mean, the gods. Look at the gods. I think the gods did
mhm,
shirtless album covers.
probably. And I don't listen to much of the guys. That has nothing to do with the shirtless. Anyway, it's a fine album. I'm not gonna go to it again. I respect the musicianship of Ronnie Montrose, um, and all that. All in all, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It's it's okay. That's an okay.
Mm, 7.5.
Yeah, I'm being kind of generous on
Mark, if by chance you watch this,
that.
just keep in mind what your buddy over here's done. Okay? Because that is not my rating. We got 8 songs. 3 of those
Hmm.
songs are B's. There's A pluses in there, and the rest are A's. The 2 songs that were singles on this album, big singles, in my opinion, Rock Candy and Bad Motor Scooter, are
Hmm.
timeless, in my opinion. They're as timeless as listening to All of My Love or Walk This Way or Breaking the Law.
Breaking the
If
law.
if you hear them, they're just a classic tune. And it would really there's parts of this album that would really kind of show where Sammy would take his career later and
Hmm.
how some of his writing or something came along
Hmm.
to that effect, which I thought was pretty cool. Just to hear the early Sammy influence of what was going on there. I'm not a big Sammy Hagar fan. The Hagar years of Van Halen are not my favorite years by any means. However, I do dig this Montrose album because I remember being a young man and seeking it out myself and digging this album. With that being said, I'm going to go a little bit higher than Bruce on this album by about a point. I'm going to give this album an 8.5.
Mm.
Not
Mm.
a top tier album for me, but a good rockin' album. And that's that.
There you
Mark,
go.
8.5 from me, 7.5 from Bruce. Thank you once again for the album, Mark Mendoza of
Mm.
Twisted Sister. And thanks again for hanging out and talking with us and giving us a good portion of your time. We really did
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Um, Bruce, we've got a
Hmm.
big one coming next week, season finale.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit of a longer episode. Um, but the editing won't be anything on it just due to the fact that I'm not putting in album covers for songs that we're
No.
talking covers of. So with that being said,
Hmm.
it's been a great season. We've had some wonderful guests this season, even bigger. This guests seem like they're getting bigger and bigger. We're hoping to bring you more guests next season. We may change some of the format a little bit. We're talking some
We'll see.
discussion on some of that, but I think we're going to come to some pretty good agreement on how we're going to keep the show moving forward. For those of you that like to listen or watch, thank you so much for all of your time. I know this has been a bit of a longer episode for us, but there was a lot to talk about when it comes to Sonic Temple. It's 4 freaking days, man. Um,
Hmm.
Other than that, Bruce, I really hope that next week we get in to talk about what we've been listening to before we sit down with the guys, because that's the one thing I like to hear what everybody's listening to before we start hearing about the cover songs. But looking forward to having Chuck from
Hmm.
Beyond Neptune on,
Hmm.
um, Scott from Slow Drown on,
Hmm.
and our good buddy West Beach of the infamous Plasmatics
And the accidents.
and the Accidents. So thank you guys so much. We're looking forward to having you guys back on. Mark,
Absolutely.
once again, thanks for a wonderful recommendation on an album.
Hmm.
Bruce, it's hard to believe we're coming to an end of another season, man.
Absolutely. Time flies when you're having fun.
But you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm
Hmm.
kind of ready for the break. I'm ready to not
Nope.
spend hours till 2 o'clock in the morning editing and stuff.
Oh, wah. Wah.
But I'm looking forward to the break of going and seeing a lot of shows. And
There you
you
go.
need to start booking your concert lineups. And we should be meeting up for a concert at least once this summer.
There you go.
So let's figure it out.
Okay.
All right. I will talk to you later, my friend. To all
See
you
ya.
guys listening and watching at home, thank you so much. I'm Tone,
I'm Bruce.
and we are hooked on Sonics. We'll see you
See ya,
next week.
hookers.
We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Hookers.